I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor.
In the Karate Kid 2, they have this little drum. Karate was learnt by Okinawan fishermen that learned it from mainland China, and they took it back. And so this is something that actually they got from Kung Fu. What this drum body is teaching you is Chum Kiu, one of the movements of Chum Kiu, which is you're turning your body as if it's a solid rod. It doesn't have any parts. And by twisting it, and you have relaxed shoulder joints here, and your arms, all the joints in your arms are relaxed, it'll tap into what's called centrifugal force. This movement here, which is what I like to call an Easter egg. At the end of each form, and often the start of each form, is actually a hidden Easter egg that's preparing you for the next form. That's how clever the founder was in building these forms together. So you're often learning the next form without even knowing it. So the Easter egg in this one is it's preparing this sort of motion which taps into much more easily when you're actually just moving your arms with your spine being very loose and twisting around. So if you just kind of spin like this for a second and just relax your arms and relax your shoulder joints, you'll feel like your arms just raise without you having to actually use any muscles to do it. Not any muscles in your arm anyway. And the faster you spin, the higher it will go, right? So the only thing that stops it will be tension in your shoulder joints. As we go back to the move now, which is done in a Chum Kiu way, it's a lot harder to feel that motion if your arm is going down, right? So if you actually analyze what the motion is doing like this, the arm is going into this sort of shape, so it's raising up, but this part of the arm is going down. And it's very hard to feel that raising up in the arm at the elbow when you're going in a downwards direction. So just kind of practice that down. See if you can actually just feel your arms kind of get that feeling of floating as you twist your body. And you can do it in two ways. You can do it in a bilji way, which means you can kind of twist your spine, or you can do it in a way like this, where you're twisting your spine, you're twisting your body from your hips.
Drum technique, understand?
So you're keeping it so that none of the vertebrae spin. So the real essential skill here is sensitivity and relaxation. You won't be able to feel it. So don't hold your arms out, relax them. Don't be using any sort of muscles to hold your arms out with your shoulders. It will interfere with the feeling. So you're adding body, but if you want to do the body, that's fine, but try to isolate it. Okay, let me show you. Yeah. So this is a good, the way to kind of get the perfect position is what I call reverse engineering the move, right? So rather than kind of, if you don't know where to go, like, and you're having everything wrongly aligned, actually do it so like you do it in the Silam Tao, and then so that would be the Silam Tao, and then have everything line up like that, right? So then my wrist is going to be like that. So then when I finish,
No mercy! Finish him!
it's going to be like that, right? Sorry. With any of the movements in Wing Chun, the default is a straight line when you're moving it like this, but then you can bend around the straight line. So in any movement in Silam Tao, for example, all the moves are straight lines, but then there's a family of bent lines around each one. So there's never a single bong sao or a single tan sao. There's a single straight one, and then there's a family of bent ones, infinite family of bent ones that go around it. So in this case, you can practice going in a straight line. So in this case, it's quite linear, right? Straight line from there, but it could be more curved, where you're curving more like this. It's straight lines in all the forms. That the default is a straight line, but you're welcome, and in fact you're encouraged to explore the bent lines around each movement. It's essential to being able to use a bong sao or use a tan sao, is to explore these variations.
The swing for this movement the same?
Yeah, it's built on. So if you actually look at the movements in each of the forms, at the end of the forms, there's a kind of progression on them, right? So in Silam Tao, there's this sort of movement like this, which is often misunderstood to be a movement which is across the body. It's not across the body, it's actually on the center line like this, and you're moving along the center line. It's worth pointing out, there's a little bit of detail. A lot of the moves, when you teach Wing Chun for a while, and you notice when you give someone an instruction of how to do something and they do the exact same wrong thing every time. Everyone learns the same thing. So you start to learn why, well, at least I study psychology, I want to understand why are they making this error. And it's often got to do with errors of perception. So when people are doing this, it looks like the hand is over here, so then it gets turned into over there. But really what's happening is the wrist is on the center line, your finger's on the center line, and you're coming down like that. Right? So that's the first move. Yes, you're going down at a 45-degree angle from this point here. In this case, you're moving from here off to the side, but it's a 45-degree angle down. Yeah.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy,